If you're over 50 and you have lost weight or you're thinking about losing weight, the goal may have been, it's important for me to stay small. But really, after 50, the goal really needs to be that we should work on becoming stronger. And so, for most of you that have been following me, you'll know that I've been on this journey taking Zepbound to lose weight. But I've reached my goal. I feel very proud, but I also feel like, what do I do next? You know, I've spent months getting on and off the scale, but now that I've reached my goal, this is the place where many women can get stuck, and it's called maintenance. And of course, the last thing I want to do is to have the weight come back, because I've worked so hard and I've spent lots of money. And so I want to maintain the health that I have achieved over the last 7 to 8 months. So when we're over 50, it's so easy to lose muscle. We actually lose muscle at a very high rate. And so the goal is no longer to be small, but to be strong. So the first thing you can do to stay strong is strength train. And so I've been on maintenance now for, I think I'm in my 3rd week. And it is a little scary when that scale starts to creep up again. But I will say that I have been working really hard at putting together a plan for strength training. My goal, and I've worked on over the last couple of weeks, is strength training 3 times a week. I actually developed a schedule that I can check off all of the reps that I'm doing. Right now, I'm not going to the gym. If I feel that I need to, I will, but my goal right now is to use my dumbbells. I have different weights, dumbbells. I also have some resistance bands, and I have some, and they all come in different strengths. So I'm using dumbbells, resistance bands, and isometric exercises right now. And so the goal is to strength train. The second goal is eat enough protein. And for me, that's about 1 gram of protein for my ideal body weight. And so that's about 130 grams of protein each day. That's for me. You have to talk with your doctor to see how much protein you should be eating every day. But generally, I'll have 30 grams of protein at breakfast, 30 grams at lunch, 30 grams at dinner, and a few snacks in between that are high protein, to try to work hard to get all the protein in that I can. So focusing on protein is very important. And then the last thing is stop relying on the scale. You know, when I was working on the weight loss, I would get on the scale, if not every day, every other day. And then, of course, once a week, I would get on the scale and measure my fat loss and all the other things that my scale measures. But now I don't get on the scale as much. Usually if I get on every few days just to double check where I am. And I don't get excited when I see that I've lost weight. What I get excited about is when I see that I have gained muscle. And I'm going to show you right here on my app syncs to my scale, and it shows me my muscle gain or loss, my fat gain or loss, as well as, of course, my weight, and some other data is on the scale as well that is very helpful. So I'm not really focusing on the number on the scale as it relates to my weight, but my goal is, if that weight is coming down, I want to see my muscle going up and my fat loss going down. I don't want to see the scale go down and I've lost muscle, which I did this past week. I did lose muscle. And so I'm working harder to strength train this week and just stay consistent with my strength training. I did have a meeting last week where I was in the office for 2.5 days. And so I just was kind of off my schedule and wasn't able to get the strength training in that I need, but it showed on the scale. I lost, I think, 0.1 pound of muscle, but still it's not going in the right direction. And so the mindset has to be, after 50, is we have to get strong. And so when we think about lifting up our groceries, bringing them in the house, if you like to garden, working in the yard, you know, yesterday I moved my elliptical from one side of the gym to the other. and it was much easier because I have been lifting weights and getting stronger over the past year as well. But I am just stronger. So when I get on the airplane and I have to lift my luggage above my head, I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to pick up my grandkids, both of them at one time, as long as I can. So the mindset has to change. And just remember, strength training is important. Eating enough protein is number 2. And number 3, just get your mind off of the number on the scale and start looking at, am I feeling stronger? Do I have energy? How are my clothes fitting? And not so much the number on the scale, because we can't afford to lose muscle. Muscle is our 401k. As we get older, we need our muscle for our health for so many reasons. So the new purpose of my channel is to help women get strong after the age of 50. And follow me on this journey, because I am nowhere near arrival. I am just taking off on this strength training goal of mine. So follow me. Comment strong after 50 in the comments below. If this is something you want to join me in doing, or if you have any advice for me, I love to get advice from you as well. Our focus needs to be on strength. And that's what we're going to do after 50 is we're going to get stronger. We're not going to worry about being smaller, so that we can be here for the long haul. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on my journey. Help me along if you have some advice, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.